talking about SQL Azure databases. Well, the real term is Windows Azure SQL Databases. Windows Azure is the name used for the Microsoft Azure in the cloud service that they provide. And we're going to look at a little bit about the Windows Azure, what it looks like, and how much, talk a little bit about how Microsoft provides that, and then very specifically go into the SQL database portion of that Windows Azure, Microsoft Azure offering. We're going to look a little bit about the migration and the issues and good things that you have when you're looking at doing migration. And we'll talk about maintenance and performance a little bit as well. But the main thing is just give you a base understanding of what Microsoft is doing with their Azure and their SQL database offerings. Alrighty. So a little bit about me. I'm originally from South Africa. Yes, everybody is listening with an accent. I've been over here in America since I came over in about 2001. I left university in 1992, I think it was, end of 92. I did computer science and maths at university and worked as a systems administrator for many years at companies around in South Africa. I worked on all sorts of things from Unix machines, selecting graphics, HP UX workstations, all sorts of things like that. I also worked on Novell NetWare, on Windows NT, on control data mainframes, all sorts of things as a systems administrator. Then I came over to America and started just as an admin, and then about 2006 I started doing actual DBA work, and I've been a proper DBA ever since. I started at Pragmatic Works about 3 years ago, and I'm a senior DBA consultant now at Pragmatic Works. I have contributed some chapters to the SQL 2012 Professional Administration book, and I speak regularly at user groups and SQL Saturdays, and I do webinars like this. I've done a bunch of them for Pragmatic Works, and I'm very happy to say I'm speaking at the summit in a couple of weeks. In fact, this is a kind of an abridged version of that session that I'm going to be doing at Summit. There's my email address and website if you want to go and have a look, and connect with me on Twitter. This is a picture of me and my lovelies at Disney in September, right after Labor Day. So here we are today. We're going to be talking about pizza. And pizza is very important in the world because pizza, everybody understands pizza, right? Most everybody loves pizza. Now, if you make pizza at home, you have to go and you have to have everything from the dough, the toppings, the cheese, all the way through the oven. And one day when I'm big and strong, I really would love a wood-burning pizza oven at my house outside, so I can entertain people and have this nice wood-burning oven, make pizzas out there. You also have to have things like the dining room table and the place where you're going to eat, your knives and forks, cutlery, plates, and the actual wine and beer and soda that you're going to enjoy with your pizza. This is the same as your traditional on-premise way of building services, of databases, of machines, infrastructure, okay, where you have to provide everything from the management to the machines themselves, to the power, to the cooling, to the everything else that goes around operating a server in a data center. Microsoft provides what's known as infrastructure as a service. This is basically the same as having a take-and-bake pizza, either something like a DiGiorno or the Papa Murphy's or something where you go and buy the pizza and you have to cook it yourself at your house. But you don't have to make the pizza. You don't have to put the pizza together. Okay, that is infrastructure as a service. That is, Microsoft provides a virtual machine on their infrastructure. They have the management of the machines, of the hardware, of the power, of the cooling, all of that stuff Microsoft manages, but you have to still work with the software, the updates, and everything else that goes inside that virtual machine, the applications. Then we have delivery. You call up Domino's or Papa John's. I prefer Papa John's myself, and you call them and they say, what would you like on your pizza? And they deliver you a piping hot pizza in 30 minutes or less. It's a wonderful thing. This is what Microsoft provides in the form of platform as a service, where they manage the actual server and the operating system and the everything else, and all you have to worry about is the actual database and the applications on there. And then we have dining out. You go to a restaurant and you go and order the pizza, and you sit at the table and everything just arrives in front of you. That is similar to the software as a service that Microsoft provides. So everybody understands pizza, right? And this is the way that Microsoft has laid out the Windows Azure model for everybody. Windows Azure encompasses a large amount of services. There are computing services, storage services, networking services, everything on the fabric side Microsoft provides. They also provide these actual services on top of this fabric. Service bus, identity, big data, in other words, HD Insight. They provide analytics, high-performance computing, commerce, all of these services and fabric for within the Windows Azure environment. There's a lot of different ways that you can interact with Windows Azure. Sorry, we're having a small emergency here in the office. It smells really bad in here. Some kind of smells like burnt popcorn, but anyway. So we're going to just carry on. But in the Windows Azure infrastructure, Microsoft have built a network of data centers that provide all these services. They just announced on Tuesday this week the 19 full data centers around the world. They've included 2 in India, as in addition to all the ones that you see there. So there are a number of data centers all around the world that provide services, and this is important because when you build a database or a virtual machine in Windows Azure, you need to decide where this database is going to reside. If you live in, say, Australia, you really want to have the data center closest to you because the